So there's a version of a personal brand that's manufactured, then a polished headshots, perfectly crafted bio, carefully curated feed. And then there's the kind of brand that gets built the hard way, through pain, through setbacks, through showing up when every reasonable person would have quit. My guest today was set on fire at age 8. Doctors told him he'd never competed in sports again. And 43 surgeries later, he's a 54 times Ironman all-world triathlete, a best-selling author, and National Wrestling Hall of Fame inductee, and one of the most respected sales executives in the healthcare industry. He ran a marathon on every continent in 7 days. He's broken a 20-year record for bear trapping, and he's a husband and father of 5. I've been following Shay Eskew on LinkedIn since 2008, and I'll be honest with you, his posts are part of why I built my home gym. They've been inspiring me for years, and so that's the power of personal brand. It's rooted in something that is real. It changes how people live their lives. So today we're going deep on adversity, identity, and how the hardest chapters of your story become the foundation of your reputation. Shay Eskew is here, and this one is going to hit hard. I hope you enjoy it. This is Return on Reputation. Let's get into it. All right, Shay, welcome to Return on Reputation. So I'm so excited to have you here. When I launched the show, I was thinking of people to bring on as guests, and you were one of the first I thought of, simply because of we connected like in 2018 on LinkedIn. And I don't even know if you remember, but I certainly do, because your posts are always very inspirational. They're raw. You've got the Ironman piece. You've got this incredible setup. It seems very real, authentic. And so you've inspired me. I built out my own gym.
Love it.
But yeah, man, I'm very excited to have you. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to be here. Honored that you invited me to be on the show.
Yeah,
Hopefully, your audience will get some takeaways from it.
I hope so. That's always the goal too. And to me, I just told a friend who's going to come on the show. He was like, "Well, what's the purpose of the show?" And I was like, "It's really to inspire people to live life to the fullest and build their own thing." So to me, it's a lot of reputation has a lot to do with that, and character. And then maybe the show needs to change the name, but it's Carpe Diem too has always been center of my life. So it's
No, I think that's a big piece, right? A lot of people have advice, and you're like, have you followed your own advice?
yes,
Right? Have you put
yeah,
everything at risk? Have you went all in? And
yeah,
that's what I've continuously done in my life is really put everything on the table. And the more
that's
you learn, you'll see I've had a lot of failures, a lot of them, right? But those are the greatest learning lessons when you've hit rock bottom.
100%. Yeah, it's actually in those times of your life you think, "Oh my God, the world's ending," and then you get through it. Like the only way to me to get through those times is just to keep going, because there's light on the end of the tunnel. And once you push through, you look back and you're like, "Wow, I grew a lot from that."
100%. When it's one of those, Justin, like we all sit around and you're having drinks with your buddies and you're talking, you never share stories of, remember how easy it was? We just did this. It's always, remember how we couldn't pay rent? Remember how we didn't know we'd be able to afford to buy the car or take a vacation?
Yeah,
Those are the stories that resonate with us, but yet we all shy away from that adversity. And why is it, right? If we
so
all
true.
agree that has the biggest impact on our life, shouldn't we be seeking out those moments?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think innately you don't want to. Obviously, it hurts, but I don't know if you've seen this before. This is kind of like it was trending on social maybe a few months ago, and it was like, "Well, what kind of hard do you want?"
Yeah. Choose your heart.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to be poor. It's going to be hard to be rich. Just same with in shape and out of shape. Both are hard. It's choose your heart.
Yeah.
So good.
One heart has benefits from doing the hard work. The other one has a lot of misery
Yeah,
because you avoided hard, right?
exactly. Yeah. So, okay, so that's a perfect segue. Like so just for people listening who don't know your story, I want to go back to the beginning and maybe just take us back to what happened, if you're willing to share
Absolutely.
when you were 8.
Yeah. So August 4th, 1982, we're going back 43 years ago. My mom had asked me to warn my neighbors about an aggressive yellow jacket's nest they had in their yard. The previous day, I went to see them, and these yellow jackets swarmed my entire bike.
Wow.
And so I went across the street to warn my neighbors, but I grabbed my buddy who was 7. Went over there. We knocked on the door. The dad wasn't home, but the 15-year-old daughter was. And we started telling her about these yellow jackets that were in the ground.
Mm.
And I preface this by saying I had the most conservative parents you've ever met, right? Didn't drink, didn't smoke. I couldn't go to fireworks shows. I couldn't do spend the night parties. I couldn't jump on trampolines. If there was any chance of anything ever happening, I couldn't do it. And so as we tell her about this yellow jacket's nest, she asked us if we'd help her get rid of them. She
Mm.
had seen her dad burn them out before. And so we went down, we showed her the hole. She took a match, threw it down. Nothing happened. We all know just a match, right?
Mm.
We're standing there. We're literally 15 feet away from the hole in the ground. And she grabs a cup of gasoline without telling us, stands behind us and pitches it, splashes me on the right side of my face and shoulder, hits my buddy on the left side of his body, hits that match. Within an instant, we're engulfed in flames.
Oh my God.
And for whatever reason, I was worried the yellow jackets were going to sting me. I can't recall if they were coming. I don't know. But I remember I ran into my yard, stopped, drop, and roll, and put it out. I look up, my buddy's standing there screaming, engulfed in flames from head to toe. I run back across the street, grab a water hose, put him out. And I'm standing there just alternating the hose on our heads.
Mm.
I remember touching my head, all my hair came out. Our skin is blackened, it's melted. Your clothes are melted to your body. At that moment, you're thinking, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
In those 3 minutes, your entire life trajectory has changed forever. And it had nothing to do with what we did. Wrong place, wrong time. And so as a result of the injury, my right arm was permanently melted to my body. It would take 3 years before I could lift my arm over my head. I had to learn how to write left-handed to finish the 3rd grade.
Mm.
My right ear had to be amputated. They wind up taking all the skin off my right leg from my hip to my ankle, all the skin from my left leg from my hip to my knee. They took a section 8x11 off my back, section 3x6 out of my stomach. And then I even had a section recently taken in my back where they take the blood vessels with it. So literally it was probably this big. Took it out of my back, closed it up, and then insert it into my neck, just cut it, let it split open, and then sewed it in.
Oh.
And so for 2 months, you can't turn your head. You can't lift anything over 3 pounds. So needless to say, it's been a long journey. And as part of that initial injury, I was hospitalized for 3 months. The doctors told me I'd never be competitive in sports again. It was life-changing. And it was one of those, nothing in my previous 8 years could have possibly prepared me for this moment.
No, that isn't. It's just,
but it's one of those things where when you're in this hospital, unfortunately, I'm surrounded by other burned kids who were burned as bad, if not worse than me. And you look around and say, it's not that bad. It could be worse. But also, as you look around, you say, look, I don't want to be known as a burn survivor. I don't want that life that these kids are going to have. I want to be an athlete again because I was a pretty decent athlete before the accident.
Yeah. And
it's one of those things, Justin. So for the first month, you're lying flat on your back. You can't sit up. Everything you do lying down. Eating, and I say that loosely because they fed me through a tube in my nose. Drinking, go to the bathroom lying down. You watch TV with a mirror. But mounted above me, suspended from the ceiling, was a piece of plexiglass, 3 feet by 6 feet. Right in the middle of it was an 8x11 autographed picture from Herschel Walker. So if you grew up like I did in Atlanta in the 80s,
yeah,
you idolized Herschel Walker.
That's great.
Best wishes, Shay, for a quick recovery.
Wow.
And as I stared at it, that's all I could think about is, will I ever have a chance to get out there on the field again? And during those 3 months, I made a pact with God. I said, you get me out of here. I will spend every waking moment trying to reclaim my life again. And that became my mantra once I got out of the hospital was, I didn't want to be known as a burn kid, as an athlete. And so I committed I would do whatever it took to create that identity.
Wow. Wow. And this is all at 8 and
Yeah.
9 and
But I
yeah.
mean, it's been a long journey. I'm still having surgeries now, right? I'll be 52 in a few days,
Mm,
and I still need a couple more surgeries. And
wow.
that's what makes burn injuries so challenging is it's not 2, 3 of them you're fixed. I've had 43 spread out over 40 plus years.
Wow. To say that's probably mentally challenging, and it's so many people don't have that, and they complain. People complain. I think we're talking about at the beginning of the show is, what choose your heart and all of that. And I would imagine that that's played a massive role in your life. To walk us through what goes in, like, what inspires you like every day to get up and move and live life to the fullest. Because obviously I know you are. Is it like devastate? Is it defiance? Is it just gratitude? Walk us through that.
I think it's a little bit of everything. One, you've had that chip on your shoulder because for years,
Mm,
I don't even want to use the word athlete, but when I played sports, I was the last person picked, right? Like I
mm.
played baseball 3 months after getting out of the hospital. But as I shared with you, I couldn't lift my arm up. So I had to throw the ball underhand.
Yeah. Wow.
And my
Yeah.
dad signed me up to be the coach. He was the coach. He put me at second because it was the shortest distance to toss a ball underhand.
Yeah.
When I played football, I have no nerves, no sweat glands in a third of my body. You could stick a needle, I don't feel it in my shoulder. I can't sweat on a third of my body. The other 2/3, I can't stop sweating. So, like when I
Mm.
do Ironman, I'm most times urinating blood during the marathon, right?
Oh my God.
These are challenges you just adapt,
Yeah.
embrace it. But it's that sense of gratitude. It's like when your knees are hurting, you're like, how many people without feet, without legs would love to have achy knees? It's just reminding
True.
yourself the pain you feel, that's because you're living life to the fullest. It's not because you're being punished for something. This is a blessing. And so I think when you keep using pain as a reminder that you're living to the fullest, you look at things completely different.
Yeah. Yeah. I think gratitude's so powerful, but your lens of life is, I mean, obviously completely different. Like you just said, that's amazing.
It
And then,
gives you a whole different perspective. And it's one of those,
yeah,
Justin, too,
yeah, yeah,
there's always somebody worse off than you, right? And if you just keep reminding yourself, hey, they've not only survived, they thrived,
yeah,
it gives you that confidence. Look, this may be hard, but I can get through it. And I think that's what we all need in life sometimes is that reminder that we can do hard things. It may be
yeah,
uncomfortable, but we can absolutely do it. And it's one of those you talk to any parent and say, look, if somebody told you ahead of time how hard it would be to be a parent, do it, right? I mean, how many
yeah.
times
No,
late at
you
night with
wouldn't.
screaming and you're like, oh my God, there's no way. And then when you're 12 years into it, you're like, this is the most amazing thing in my life. I've done it 5 times, right? We got 5 kids.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't imagine life without kids. But it's
No,
been
of course
absolutely
not.
one of the hardest things we've ever done.
Yep.
And that's what you have to keep reminding yourself. The things that mean the most to you were the hardest. You had to sacrifice, endure it,
Mm.
but just gut it.
Yeah. Yeah. And there, it's always worth the pain you go through. And there's that like that naivety. Like, I think not knowing how hard it's going to be allows you to start, and then you can keep going from there and push through the
A
pain. And
great way to put it. And it's one of those things I try to remind myself when things get really hard. I tell myself, you are uniquely adapted to handle adversity.
mm,
Where you shine. This is where the opportunity exists because most people are scared of this and quit. So if you just
yeah.
keep reminding yourself, hey, look, this is our stage. This is when we rise to the top because when things are easy, I have no special talents that separate me from anybody else. But you put
Um,
me when everything's crashing around me, what makes me special, I won't quit. I'll do whatever it takes to get through it. And what you realize is in life, success is for those who are just willing to never quit. It's not because they were talented,
Yeah.
They just didn't give up. And how many people in business quit when they were maybe 2 weeks away from a breakthrough moment, right? And that's
Mhm.
what makes it hard is nobody tells you, hey, Justin, if you do this in 6 months, you're going to make it big.
Right.
It's
Right. Exactly.
doing what you know needs to be done, given the uncertainty of not knowing, am I going to make it?
Yeah. A lot of people, I think it's a normal thing to struggle with that, at least in business, where you're like, well, I went all in on myself. It's hard, right? I haven't gotten the clients yet. I haven't gotten the business. It's struggling. It's affecting family life, however that is. And what you just said, right? Should you quit, right? And cut your losses? Or do you go all in and go all in every single day to double down again and again and again on something that you truly believe in?
Yeah.
And it's probably a different answer for everybody. But the saying is you can't fail if you don't quit.
And I think a big part of it too, it's like for me, it's having a spouse that supports you and says, look, I trust in you. You've never let us down. And not everybody has that kind of support. They've got somebody, oh, we need to do this. We need to do this. And you're like, look, I need you on my team. Like
Yes.
when
Have to
we're in
be.
that foxhole together, I need you helping me dig and assuring me we're going to get through it. And that's what you realize in life. When you got somebody equally as committed, you become unstoppable.
Yes. Yes. That's such a great point to have the team in place, whatever that means for you. But
Yeah.
for me, like I can't agree with you more. Like my wife is so supportive. I couldn't do the things I do without her. So when you were just, I'm sure this is one example, but when you're to finish third grade, you had to write left-handed to and learn how to do that. And I think it's a level of starting over most people can't even understand. So what did that teach you about resilience as a kid that you bring, that you still have today
Yep.
and that most adults don't ever know?
It's a great question. So, number one, I learned early there's no such thing as immediate gratification. It
Mm,
didn't exist. Dude, it took me a couple months just to be able to put my shirt on by myself, to be able to button it, because I couldn't use my right arm, right?
yeah.
And so I think once you learn that, hey, the things that really matter, it's going to take years, sometimes decades to get there. Like I didn't see progression in a matter of days or weeks, it was months. Just for it
Yeah.
to take 3 years to lift my arm over my head. But once I did, I was like, hey, if I apply this same kind of do the work and it will come, what else can I do in life? And so what I realized early is the things that rewarded that kind of grit, all out effort, last man standing, especially as it related to sports, were ones that I did well in.
Mm,
So I lost the ability to be competitive in sports. Like I played baseball, but I wasn't great. Golf, no. But I got into wrestling,
okay.
right? And it's one of those, again, is to me, wrestling is not about talent, it's who can give out the most punishment and take the most punishment.
Mm,
And it was part of four
endurance.
state championships. I was a two-time placer, got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
And it was never about being a great wrestler because I got in under the Medal of Courage designation. It's simply just showing up and never quitting, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Justin, I want to share one thing real quick,
Yeah.
just account for that. So
Please.
one of the things, and I think a lot of people, if you're in business, you get this, but back in 2011, I was on Team USA competing in the World Championships for triathlons. And I looked at the competition. I was in the peak shape. I trained 1 year for one race. I truly thought I'd be top 20 in the world at this race.
Hmm.
Race day morning, cold front come in, and we're in Vegas. Temperatures like 37.
Okay.
So they
Wow.
canceled the swim. I'm not a good swimmer. And I was like, holy cow. This just reset the whole race. Like I could be top 10, right? If it's just bike and running,
Yeah.
this is my strength, right? And so I'm like, man, this is it. And so we start the bike, and man, I'm just flying past people. And I'm one of those guys, very energetic racer. I'm like, woohoo, let's go. I'm sure annoying the hell out of everybody. Mile 10, I get a flat tire.
Oh no.
I'm like, hey, stay calm. You've practiced this, right? Excuse me. 2 minutes later, I'm back at it, passing people again. Mile 20 a flat again.
No way.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this has
Yeah.
never happened. Hey, stay calm. I didn't have a second tube, but I had a CO2, pumped it up. Mile 30, flat again. So I
What?
had a slow leak somewhere. And this particular course, it was going to be a 65-mile bike.
Okay.
And so when I ride on a flat tire, and I get about 5 miles into it, the tire is so flat it washes out, I slam into the pavement. There's probably 100 people around me watching. Crack my helmet, scrape my hips, my elbows, and I'm so fired up, filled with adrenaline. I jump. I'm like, ah, ah, and everybody's staring at me like I'm possessed. And then I just start laughing. So laughter is one of my coping mechanisms for pain.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I said, God, I get it. I just told you I wanted to do an ultra marathon. I guess today's the day. Because I still had, I think, about 20 miles to go on the bike. So I take my shoes off because you can't run in cycling shoes.
No.
So I take my cycling shoes off, put them on my bar ends. I'm barefoot. Now it's 44 degrees. So I start running barefoot, pushing my bike. This guy comes up next to me. Spectator goes, hey, can I help? I said, no, I can't take any help. I'll be disqualified.
Okay.
I said, but if you would call this number. This is my wife. Her name's Brooke. Tell her I'll see her at the finish, but I'm going to be late. So he calls my wife and tells her, hey, I just saw your husband. He's going to be quitting soon. You'll probably see him at the finish line in a couple hours. So long story short, I get 6 miles into this run barefoot, encounter another racer who throws me a tube. She didn't have a CO2. Another racer comes by, throws me.
No.
Reinflate the tire, finish the bike. And then I had an 18.5-mile run. Got through that.
Oh my God.
I finished not top 10 like I thought, third from last. Third from last. But dude, I was so pumped, right? Because what I didn't tell you was right before I left, my 2-year-old daughter said, Daddy, bring me home a medal. You get some really cool finisher medals from world championships. And that's all I kept thinking is, you can't quit. Like, how do you tell your daughter you quit?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
And so when I finished, they had no medals. They said, we forgot to order them. Sorry.
No.
Yeah. So I was a little upset, as you can imagine. But
yeah.
So we're flying home. My wife says, I'm so sorry that you had that kind of a day, right? Third from last. I said, babe, you know what? I'm okay with it because I just proved to myself, no matter how bad it gets, I will always do what it takes to get across the finish line.
Yeah.
And that's the key in life. Do what it takes. So we get home. 3 days later, I get a call. And he says, Shay, this is Rob Urbach, CEO of USA Triathlon. I heard about your race in Vegas. And I said, so are you calling to give me a medal? He said, no. But we would like to make you our feature story on our Olympic preview issue.
Wow. Very cool.
Went out to 165,000 people. And just for years, people came up to me and they said, thank you for sharing your story. I was going through a divorce. I was battling cancer. I lost a loved one. Whatever it is, they said, I needed that assurance that I could get through it. And that's what you have to remind yourself in your deepest moments, that you've been through worse. You will get through it, right? Just convince yourself, hey, if I just show up today and tell yourself that every single day, you're going to get through it.
Yeah. Now, so how much of, we talked about gratitude a little bit. Do you start every day with a gratitude journal or all those things that they talk about today? Or do you just get on the bike and ride? Or tell us
to me,
quickly.
My gratitude is exercising.
Okay.
Now, when I go to bed at night, that's how I finish my day, is the prayer. Hey, thank you, God, for everything that you've given me. Thank you for the abilities to go out and experience life. I am not deserving, but very appreciative of what you give me. So that's how I conclude my day.
Okay.
But I'm not one of those that start off my morning spiritual preparation. I have a routine. I get up, make my coffee, add an extra shot of espresso to it. I eat 2 frozen waffles. I read for 20 minutes, then I exercise.
Okay. Yeah. I'm on the same espresso train too. I do the same thing. Wake up. I can't just wake up and exercise. I gotta go wake
Yeah.
up, and then I do toast instead of the waffles, and then
Yeah.
I'm out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so 27 years, you become an Ironman triathlete, and I'm skipping around here because I'm sure I'm hitting in the middle of that story you just told, that incredible story. You're now a top top. Correct me if I'm wrong. Top 1% worldwide. You've done 54 all world triathlons.
So I've done 54 Ironmans and
Okay.
Ironman 70.3s. And then the all world means you're top 1% ranked. And
Okay.
so I've
Gotcha.
achieved
Gotcha.
that,
Gotcha.
I think, 7 times over the years.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
Unfortunately, a lot of it's just with 5 kids. I had 5 kids in travel soccer. I still have 3 kids in travel soccer, one wrestling. And so it's all about priorities, right? When I can get in a race and focus, I do it. Other times I just train and make sure I don't miss my kids' events.
Yeah.
Because Justin, one of the things I think it's so important for entrepreneurs is to remind yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? Is it to provide a better life for your family? Well, if that's true, make sure you don't abandon your family trying to create this better life for them.
In
Because
the
I can
process.
tell you,
Yeah.
I've seen so many successful people, when they get to the top, they look back, they're all alone. Because this, and so I tell everybody, you have to make sacrifices and know what those are. And so identify, I'm willing to sacrifice TV, hanging out with the boys, staying up late. This is what I'm willing to sacrifice. But equally important, what are you not willing to sacrifice? I'm not willing to sacrifice my marriage, my kids, my faith, right? And I
Yep.
think once you know those two things, decisions in life are pretty easy, right?
Completely. Yeah. Same. I talk about, people say you can't have it all at once, and maybe that's true, but I believe you can, because of what you just said, is the things I care about, I'm not willing to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that I can't have all, like fitness, my wife, our
Yeah.
relationship, our family, the business. It's not hard. It's not easy, but it's like, if you do that, like what you just said, because I know a lot of people who are wealthy and they're miserable.
Yes.
Like financially successful.
Yeah.
So I don't think wealthy is the word.
And many of them compromise their health to get there. And you're like, so what good does it have this money if I'm so unhealthy? I can't enjoy my money, right?
Yes, right, exactly. Yeah, it's getting that whole, that I think wealth is like, true wealth is having all of those things.
Well, and
And
I think you're the same way too. It's one of
yeah,
those, you're always asking yourself, am I being the kind of parent my kids can be proud of?
yeah, yeah, they're
And I've
watching.
seen
They're watching
a
all
lot
the
of
time.
these, I don't want to name names, but Hall of Fame athletes on TV that their kids are
Yeah.
not proud. They don't have a relationship with their parent. And you're like, is that just for me? Is it to satisfy my ego? Or is it really, if I'm doing these things for my family, then they should be proud of what I'm doing?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And you've said your mantra is not to be just a finisher, but to be a competitor. And I think there's a huge difference between that. Can you just unpack that, what
Yeah.
that means for you?
So I'm one of these people, and it drives my wife crazy times, but I go all in. So if I'm going to do something,
Okay.
I believe anything worth doing is worth overdoing, right?
I
Kind of
like
like,
that. Love
we're
that.
talking about this tree house I built. She thought I was going to build like a little shed on the ground. We built an Airbnb 25 feet up in the air because I was like, if we're going to do it, let's go
Y-
all out.
Yeah.
And so I don't just choose hobbies randomly. If it's something I like, then I'm all in. But I can't afford to have more than one or two hobbies
Hmm.
because I know how addictive and compulsive I can be. So when
Okay.
my friends say, "Hey, you want to play golf?" Sorry, I don't have the capacity to commit to that sport. All my time is spent focused on Ironman training,
Right.
right? So that's just one. I'm one of those. I don't want to be one of those people that just finishes a race. I want to be competitive. It doesn't mean I have to be competitive to be happy,
Yeah.
but I'm going to give the effort and put the training in to be competitive. And what I found generally, if I put in the time and the effort, I will be competitive.
Mm.
I try to choose activities that reward effort and consistency.
Yeah. So before, it sounds like before anything you do, before you commit to it, you have to make sure that you have the capacity to go all in, because that's who you
100%.
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
Right.
not
My
dipping
wife
your
knows
toe
that.
in a million things. You're very focused in what you're dedicating your time to.
Yeah. And it's one of those that it may bother some of your friends. Hey, let's go do this. You're like, sorry,
Yeah.
dude, I'm training. Right. Like we go to football games and we'll pick one a year where I meet with all my fraternity brothers. I'm like, I still have to do my workout that morning. Right.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll meet you at the tailgate, but this doesn't mean we just skip the workout today.
Do some of your brothers join you on that workout, or they're just like,
Never,
no way?
never. And I don't judge them. I get it. It's not their thing, right? Like
Yeah.
they're into golf or whatever it is. But for me, like the Ironman training gives me an outlet to where I see a correlation between effort and output. It's math. That's all
Okay.
it is.
Okay. Yeah. I here I am thinking I ran a marathon once and I thought that was cool. So
What
it's
is cool because what I think
no,
it's maybe
no.
less than 5% of the people in the world have actually done it.
Yeah. So I feel very humbled to be talking to you. It's incredible what you've done. The 100 plus races across 14 countries on 6 continents, and is and all in Ironman is no
Yep.
small feat. And I think you've run a marathon on every continent in 7 days. And you even, if this research I did prepping for the show is right, you even trapped bears, and you broke a 20-year record doing that. So,
So it's one of those again, if you're going to do something,
yeah.
go all in. But my undergrad was wildlife and fisheries.
Okay.
And there was an opportunity to live in the woods trapping bears doing research for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
Mm,
I'm 22. I'm like, are you kidding me? Who wouldn't do this? We made $75 a week. We lived in a rundown trailer, no TV, no telephone, no air conditioning, no screens in the windows. We had a 6-foot rat snake that lived inside the walls. We caught 150 bears the first 3 months.
okay.
And we live captured them. Like we didn't have guns. We set a snare. We bait them in,
Yeah.
sedate them by hand. We had a 3-foot pole with a syringe mounted on it. We'd extract their first premolar tooth. We'd weigh them.
Oh my
Then
God.
we'd wake them up, and then we'd start to do it again. And again, I didn't make any money because half the money I made I had to send home because my grandmother was watching my dog. But it's one of those. I'm all about experiences. Like
Mm,
you can't take experiences away from somebody, right?
no, you can't. Yeah.
And I really think the bear trapping is what got me into the MBA program. They like diversity, and it's one of those. I literally said, "You know what? I'm going to get my MBA." I took the GMAT. I think 3 or 4 days later. No, not studying. Did my interview, and they're like, "Bear trapping, right?" And they're like, "We've never had a bear trapper apply
Yeah.
to the MBA program."
I'm sure not.
But that's what you realize. Like these experiences prepare you for life, right? And I've
Mm,
always been a believer. Seek out those experiences everybody else shies away from. And those experiences are really going to open doors. You may not know now, but at some point in life, those will open doors for you.
mm. Yeah. And so you get the MBA and all these things throughout your career, because you also have a professional career on top of all these achievements. How do the athletic achievements in your story start to shape how people see you professionally? Like, did the reputation you built on the course start opening doors in the boardroom?
It does. One, it all started with I want to identify as an athlete. And then you look at what habits allow you to have that identity to become an athlete.
Yeah.
Time management, hard work, grit, putting off immediate gratification. All that translates into the business world.
Of
And I
course.
can
Yeah.
tell you, when
Yeah.
I got into healthcare, And it's interesting because in healthcare, there's not a lot of extremely healthy people working in healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. And so when I go to these conferences and they see this guy at 5 in the morning in spandex going to work out in the gym, or I used to carry my bike with me into the hotels, I'm like, there's something different, right? This guy's not hanging out having drinks with us at night. He's going to bed so he can get up and train.
Yeah.
And I think it just piques their curiosity because the key for me, I'm in sales. What can you do that makes you different than everybody else?
Okay. Yeah. That's super powerful.
Justin, one of the things I remember is I first, even though I have a finance background, I got into sales back in '08.
Okay.
And I'll never forget, I'm interviewing with this guy. He's probably, I think, 57, owned a very successful property and casualty company. And I just sold my automotive distribution company. I had a non compete. I had to get out of the industry altogether for 3 years.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to come work for him and do sales. And he said, Shay, I know you're a smart guy. You ran your own business. You've got an MBA. Convince me you'll do well in sales. And at the time, I was 34 years old, pretty assured of myself. And I said, Lewis, tell you what, I'm so confident I'm going to do well at your company. I'm willing to bet my first 2 paychecks. If you and I make 10 cold calls, they're going to remember me over you every time. This guy is extremely successful. And he looks at me. You can tell he's thinking, you cocky little turd. But he goes, all right, spill the beans. Why do you think they're going to remember you over me every time?
Yeah.
And I said, Lewis, statistically, would you agree tall and attractive people do well in sales? He said, absolutely. I said, do they do well because they're tall and attractive or because those are attributes of being memorable? I
Mm.
think it's because they're memorable.
Mm.
And I said, no offense, but there's a lot of mid-50s balding guys out here making sales calls. There's only one-eared burn guy, and that's me.
Mm.
Therefore, they're going to remember me over you every time.
Yeah.
And that's what I adopt as my mantra. And when sales, it's look, be different than everybody else. Be the guy that they're like, what is that nut job doing walking in spandex going to the gym, right? You're living a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then
That
that becomes your identity.
that's interesting because when we connected on LinkedIn years ago, that's what I saw you doing before people were doing it on LinkedIn, especially on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
LinkedIn at the time is strictly a resume and business network. And here you are sharing like in not a way that, and that's what I like about what you share is you're sharing it in a way that's inspiring and you're not preaching, you're not telling people what to do. You're like, this works for me. But you're sharing Ironman achievements on LinkedIn, you're sharing your workouts, sharing you just posted 4:30 in the morning, all is quiet, and this is when I get my work done, which was especially at your unique perspective. Like that's how so your personal brand. So what you were thinking at that time, just I'm going to use LinkedIn because you've got like huge, I don't know if that's even your biggest platform. It probably isn't, but like 40,000 people following you there. And then why did you choose to develop a personal brand and share your
Well,
story?
yeah, that's a great question because it's funny because I've had a few employers over the years question, why are you not posting work stuff?
Yeah.
Why are you? And I'm like, look, we have a marketing department. They're great at what they do. I don't want to purport to be a marketing guru. Why would I?
Yeah.
And I don't believe people look to me to say, tell me how great your company is. What they want to say is, can I get to know you? Can I trust you so that I can do business with you? Because I'm a big believer we do business with people we like, know, and trust.
100%. Yes. Yeah.
And I'm also in an industry where I meet probably a lot of my decision makers are women. And so I want them to know, hey, look, I'm a family man. I'm not here to try to hit on you. I've got a wife of 22 years. I've got 5 kids. That's the last thing on my mind. I respect family and commitment, but I also want people to know, hey, this is a man of faith.
Mm.
And I believe the more people know what you stand for, the more they're willing to be open to having a business relationship with you, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking people to make a multi-million-dollar relationship with me 10, 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just like when you get into a relationship, when you married your wife, is you want to know everything about them. Hey, what am I committing to?
Yeah.
And I think we all agree business in general is a relationship. It's not transactional, or at least that's what I want. I don't want to be a
Yeah.
transactional sales executive. I want to be a
So true.
relationship guy because when
Yeah.
stuff goes wrong, I tell everybody there's going to be a moment where we disappoint you,
Yeah.
just like in marriage. All right, there's something I'm going to do, the company does that we drop the ball.
Yep.
But can you pick up that phone, text me, call me? I get back to you. It's 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, hey, we got it. We're on it. I'm sorry. I'm going
Mm.
to take accountability for it and we're going to fix it. That's what people want. It's not all these promises. It's when something goes wrong, will you fix it?
Will you
That's what
stand
we
by
do,
it and fix it?
right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I focus on being vulnerable, authentic, let people know, hey, look, I'm not telling you I'm perfect. I make a ton of mistakes. I would never recommend what I do for everybody. Has it worked for me? Yes,
Yeah.
because generally I get things right more than I get them wrong. And I think that's what people want to know is, can I trust you? Right? Who you purport to be, or are you somebody living a completely different life once you're, off the clock?
Yeah.
So that's why I
So
focus
true.
so heavily on LinkedIn and trying to create a brand based on authenticity,
Yeah.
letting you know who I am, the vulnerable. Because one of the things, Justin, this is people love reading about your failures the most
They do.
because we all can relate to it,
And they're
right?
the hardest to share. I
They
I,
are.
I will admit.
I've realized the more I share those, the better I feel because I'm like, I shouldn't be embarrassed about it. Everybody's dealing with this.
Yeah.
They're just not being realistic about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we all can relate to that failure and say, hey, man, that's how he dealt with it. Awesome. I'm going to try
Mhm.
that next time.
That's so interesting because I think we're living in this moment of everyone's posting their perfect lives on social media. And if you start to feed into that and believe it, you start to look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, my life's not like that. And I think you got to know, like, it's all mirror, it's fake. There's so much fake. It's crazy how much believe that and I wish people would be more real about it. It's like the manicured version of themselves that they post online.
Well, that's why I tell my friends, look, I post everything. So I'm giving you all the ammo. Whatever you screwed up with your wife, just say, you think this is bad. You should see what Shay did. Right? And the biggest one was, we had this amazing family vacation planned to Italy. My wife had asked me months before, hey, make sure the passports are good. I said, babe, yes, they're good. 3 days before we leave, I'm on a flight back. And she sends me a picture of the kids' passports that were all expired. I looked at just
Oh
mine
my
and
god.
hers.
Oh no. Oh no.
And so, dude, I posted on LinkedIn, epic failure, right?
Yeah.
And then a buddy of mine, again, you can't make this up, because I was in tears explaining to my kids, I just messed up our perfect vacation. This is all
Yeah.
that. And so I shared it. A buddy of mine called me and goes, hey, man, why don't you come see us in Kona? Barbie works at this resort. She guys can get you a great deal. This is
No way.
5-star hotel. I'll take you guys out on the boat. So literally, I rebooked our entire vacation. I stayed up all night, leaving the same dates,
No way.
went to Hawaii. And what was great, so my buddy, I had to send my all my girls first, and then the boys were going to fly out a day later.
Yeah.
He shows up at the airport to pick him up. He's got a big sign that says Eskew Party of 3 with expired passports. And he's walking around the airport terminal with this big sign. But it was a great vacation,
That's
right?
great.
And it's all because I shared with everybody, look how bad I screwed up.
Yeah.
This
And you
is
didn't even share, like, the post wasn't like, oh my god, I need help, please. I'm gonna offer that help to Shay.
And I can't tell you how many people like, hey man, same thing happened to me. And
Yeah. That's great. That's such an important lesson for people listening is to know it's like it's okay not to be perfect. And a lot of our clients, like, that's a people get caught up and, well, the thing's not perfect. It's not perfect, right? And so if you feed into that perfection, you'll never start, you'll never launch, you'll never ship the product, whatever. So it's is it good? Get there and then keep iterating, keep
yep,
building. And our clients, like, it's a long-term relationship. It's fun. People are like, don't get close to your clients. I'm like, let's party, have fun together. Because it's a relationship you're building. You know, and
100%.
I love what you said. So you've built a reputation across all these industries, sales, athletics, speaking. You're an author, and I want to get into the book in a little bit. Do you approach personal brand differently depending on the arena you're talking about, or is it there's just
I
one
don't,
Shay?
because to me, it is who you are, right? Like I
Okay.
can't be two different people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be an open book. You know what you're getting, no matter where we're at, whether I'm at a race, at church, at a healthcare conference. It's the same person.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. I like that oneness. And so the book, I've got my copy. I ordered it. It won't be here till Monday, so I'm looking forward to diving in.
sure.
what what it's called, What the Fire Ignited, and the subtitle is How Life's Worst Prepared Me for My Best. So for founders who are in a hard season right now, a failed launch, a lost client, it could be anything, right? Business not working perfectly yet. What do you want them to take from the framing of that book? Or
It's interesting because people always ask, hey, if you could go back August 4th, 1982, would you not walk across the street to warn them about that bee's nest?
yeah,
I
the
said,
great,
if you'd asked me when I was 13, 18, even 25, I'd say, hell no. Why would I intentionally go through all of that?
yeah.
But now that I'm on the other side of it, I was like, what if I missed out on life? Nothing.
Mm,
Wife, 5 kids, great career. I've been to every continent in the world, right? Like we skydived over the pyramids in Cairo, some pretty freaking amazing stuff.
yeah,
And again, there's nothing special about me. It's not like I've got any great athletic gifts. And did I have to work 3 times as hard as everybody else just to be average? Hell yeah, I did, but it meant 10 times more because of how hard I worked for. And I think that's what you realize in life is the things that you work the hardest for mean the most to you. That's why your kids mean so much. Like you
yeah.
work your butt off.
It's the greatest reward.
And the same for work, right? Like that's your life. Again, as a former small business owner, it was our life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we bought a distribution company 2 months before 9/11 hit. Delta was my biggest customer. They sent me a letter. We're not paying you for 6 months.
Oh my God.
If you don't like it, tough. We're still not paying you.
Yeah,
But Justin, here's what's crazy. And
that's
again, I'm a huge believer God speaks to us in these most challenging moments where we used to get an industry magazine, and this thing is legal size, right? So it's 8 by 14. Had some good articles. Something told me this one day. Look at the classifieds.
mm.
Small 1-inch ad in the back that says SBA 9/11 Disaster Loan Relief Program. Guaranteed, I think it was like 1.9 or 2.9% fixed loan for 20 years. I applied for it. We got it. It kept our business afloat.
Amazing.
We'd have went under.
Yeah, this is your own business right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. This
Yeah.
was
Okay.
this automotive distribution company we got.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
again, you can't make this stuff up. Fast forward, and at 2008, there was a tornado came through downtown Atlanta, which is where our warehouse was. The tornado came through March 18th, right around there. I know because my son was just born 2 weeks before then. 2 months before, we had relocated our warehouse. We had lost this 5-year lease. Like we were devastated. Found this new building. My dad and I spent 3 months fixing it. We ran the plumbing, everything ourselves. And we were just like, God, I can't believe we got in this building. This is going
Yeah.
to, kill us. So when that tornado came through, it hit our old building we just moved out of,
No way.
ripped the roof off. We'd have been out of business. Everybody that stayed in
Wow.
that building went out of
Wow.
business.
Wow. So, okay. So I have to ask this question. Do you believe in luck or do you believe,
Make your luck.
yeah,
And I think if you're one of those people that when you see an opportunity, you seize it, it happens. And again, you can't make this up. So this same business we bought 2 months before 9/11 devastated us, right?
yeah.
I had to get a job at Home Depot working in hardware for 6 months, going without a paycheck. We sold this same business September 8th, 2012,
Okay.
2 weeks before the market crashed.
Wow.
And so much so that the
And
people that were buying this wanted to delay closing for
yeah,
a month. And I said, hey, we agreed on a deal. If you don't close, I'm shopping your deal.
sure. Fair.
He said, all right, we'll close on the committed date. 2 weeks later, the market crashed. Their revenue dropped 50%. And as part of this, my dad, I negotiated a 5-year employment contract for him with a pay raise. Everybody else in the company had to take a pay cut.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
Again,
Wow.
I'm a believer you make your luck. We're big in faith, right? And my dad, I guess we're putting a little bit extra on the offering plate this weekend. But it's one of those when you just keep living your life, knowing, doing the right things, I believe it will come to fruition. Now, it may not be how you imagined.
Yeah.
And it may not be in the time frame you imagine, but it's going to happen. And if I could make one more comment real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When you talked about my book, all that came about because I was with a company and I was looking to quit my individual contributor role as a sales exec and move into a leadership role.
Mm-hmm.
The president of this company told me I was making a big mistake. He goes, let me let you go speak to this guy named Jack Daly. He's going to convince you you're making a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And he started telling me this guy's run 100 marathons, former Army captain, just this guy's a machine. So I reached out to him on LinkedIn. He goes, hey, I see you live in Atlanta. I'll be there in a week. Let's have dinner. I didn't tell him I lived in Nashville. I just have my Atlanta phone number. Right? So I drove down there.
And you met him there.
And we're having dinner.
Incredible.
And his name's Jack Daly. And first 5 minutes, he goes, Shay, let's cut the chase. Why are we here today? And I said, well, Jack, my president was hoping you would talk me out of doing what I've already done. I quit my sales job to pursue a leadership role with another company. So I started walking him through. He goes, Shay, you absolutely made the right decision. But the bigger question is, when are you writing your damn book? I've got 5 kids. I train 15 hours a week. I travel 4. He goes, I don't want to hear that. He goes, I've written 3 bestsellers. I'm on the road 50 weeks a year. And here's what's going to happen. I'm going to connect you with this guy. Here's how much it's going to cost you. 9 months, you're going to have a bestseller.
Okay.
He goes, make it happen. Quit making the excuses.
I like that.
So I called my wife on the way home from dinner. I said, hey, babe, I'm writing my book. She goes, what book? We haven't talked about it. I said, oh, well, let me tell you about this dinner. And so I'm a believer God puts people in your life for a reason. Key is most of us never act on it. We just dismiss it as coincidence, right?
Yeah.
I say, hey, babe, here's what Jack said. Here's how much it's going to cost. She goes, can we afford it? I said, we can't afford not to. I did everything Jack said. 9 months later, bestseller. And it's been a life changer. And it's one of those, I believe everybody should write a book. Not to be a bestseller, but we all have a story worth sharing.
Yeah.
And it's so that the next generation can learn from our experiences, because I want people to know life's meant to be hard. Don't fear it. Welcome it, because opportunity's on the other side of that.
Yes.
And I hope by sharing my experiences, people can know, hey, this may be hard, but I'm being prepared for something bigger that I couldn't even imagine.
Yes. There's a book. This book called No Hero. It's
I see the 4-hour work week there.
yeah, it's too bright, but it's got this one is a great book, No Hero by Mark Owen. It's kind of Navy SEALs and
Yeah.
very inspiring. You just made me think of it. I'm excited to read your book on Monday. So very excited. I want to be respectful of your time. I think this episode could probably go like another hour, but we won't do that. So first, the show is centered around reputation, return on reputation, because I believe in building personal brands, and everyone's got a story, just like what you said. So start now and build that personal brand. How do you define reputation, and how does someone build it the way that where it actually lasts?
Yeah. To me, it comes back to the identity. Like, how do you want to be known?
Yep.
How do you want your kids and your loved ones to refer to you?
Yep.
And do your actions daily reflect that identity, right? Are you living the talk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. The
And
actions
I
speak
think, and
louder
that's
than
what I
words.
tell about. Just make sure if you're ever in doubt when you're faced with a situation, does this reinforce the identity I've tried to create for myself,
Mm.
right? And it should be pretty straightforward, yes or no.
Yeah. Yeah. What if, and I'm one last question. If a founder came to you, or someone, maybe they don't have to be a founder, but if someone said, I want to build my personal brand today, I have no idea where to start, what would you tell them?
I tell them, number one, think about what makes you special. What's the hardest thing you've been through?
Mm.
What got you through that? Right? There has to be something unique that you were able to tap into. And so really focus on telling that story over and over again, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Then start creating habits, a story around that all reinforce that.
Yeah. But what if they don't have anything, like maybe their life has been very easy? Like, I mean, do you encourage people to go seek out challenges every year? Like this Oggi, I think it's Misogi, the
Yes,
concept.
the old Japanese term. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer of it. Just like when I turned 50, I took 9 friends. We went and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro on my birthday.
Okay.
That
That's
was
awesome.
not the birthday
So cool.
celebration my wife wanted me, but those experiences help you tap into who you are. I think if we're creatures of comfort, we don't know what we're capable of, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of those when life's going great, anybody can be successful. But we know that's not how a business life cycle works,
No, never.
right? So the more you can do to manufacture adversity, introduce some adversity, the more you're preparing yourself for future events. I know I worked for basically a private equity company coming out of the MBA program. And one of the things that we looked for when we were making investments was, have you had failure before?
Mm,
That was a big criteria that we wanted you to have experienced failure before,
that's cool. Yeah.
right? The last thing you want to do is your first failure is when it's your personal money and your house at risk,
Yeah.
right? And so everything that we had this big assessment test that would walk you through how do you deal with adversity. And I know I met one of the guy that put together the Navy SEALs assessment test,
Okay.
and that was one of the biggest criteria they looked at was those that experienced adversity, especially at an early age, a trauma, were the most successful in completing BUDS.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. Very, very cool. Shay, thank you so much for being on the show. It's
My pleasure.
amazing to hear your story. A story I've waited to hear, or I've waited since 2018 to have this talk. So really appreciate it. For everyone looking to reach out, find you, I know that you can follow you on LinkedIn. Any other places? You've got your website. I'll put
Yeah,
that in the show
LinkedIn's
notes.
probably one of the better options. The other one is Instagram. It's just Shay. I'm sorry, Mr. Shay, the letter S, the letter Q, which is the phonetic spelling of my last name.
Okay. All right.
But
Awesome.
LinkedIn's probably my biggest audience that I go after.
Okay. Fantastic. So again, huge thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Hey, I enjoyed it, man. This has been fun.
Yeah. And hopefully we can have you on again. It'll be great.
You bet.
All right. Thanks, Shay.
Thank you.